God will get you ready on the way. God will get you ready on the way. I was out walking the dog there and I was reminded of something that happened when I lived in Dublin City. We were on a bus route, and the church was kind of on the bus route, and we had only one car, so often my wife would take the car and I'd have to get the bus to work in the morning. And I noticed it was one of those double-decker buses, and I would very often go to the top level, and I noticed very often that girls on the way into the city to work were putting their makeup on. And I remember one day I was watching this as a number of different girls around me were putting their makeup on and fixing things on the way to work. And I felt the Lord say this: they weren't ready when they left the house, but it didn't stop them leaving, because they were able to get ready on the way. They were able to get ready on the way. And I was thinking of Abraham in Genesis 12, when God says, leave where you are, but doesn't tell him where he's taking him. And he's essentially saying, if you will take the first step of obedience, I will get you ready on the way. And I think that's the word of the Lord to us at this time, where there's so much ambiguity and uncertainty and fogginess and confusion about what to do next, about where God is leading us. And I get all of that. I completely get all of that. I think God would say to you this: take the next best step. Take the next best step. In other words, don't be paralyzed into passivity or procrastination because you don't know the whole picture. You won't know the whole picture. Where God is taking you, he's not going to give you the full picture up front, but he is going to say to you, take the next best step. And as you take the next best step, I will get you ready on the way. And I think for some of us, it's that we want to know the big picture. We want the whole map. And God's almost saying, I'll draw the map as you walk. I'll draw you the map as you walk. I will light your path. See, God orders our steps. It doesn't say he shows us our entire future. You see, the Bible says, I have the plans for you. I know the plans I have for you to give you hope and a future. That would indicate to me that God knows the plans he has for us, but it doesn't tell us that we know the plans he has for us. And I think God would say to some of us, you're waiting on too much information before you move. You're waiting on too much certainty. You're waiting on too much direction. You're waiting on everything falling into line. You're waiting on all the pieces being in place. You're waiting on getting married. You're waiting on having kids. You're waiting on... And whatever it is, we've got an excuse, and God said, I need you just to take the next best step. And I think of Joshua 3, where they're on the edge of the riverbank, the edge of the Jordan, to cross into the promised land. And God says, when your feet touch the water, then I will stop it. And I always think to myself, wouldn't it be great if he stopped the water first? I'd be like, God, I will put my feet in when you stop the water. And God says, no, you take the one best step of obedience, the one thing that you can do right now, and watch me move. And I always say this: when we move, he moves. When we move, he moves. Very often we're waiting on God, and God is waiting on us. When we move, he moves. And I felt, even as I was thinking about that as I was walking today, I felt like the next part of it was this: when we go, he'll show. When we go, he will show. In other words, when you take the next best step, he will show you the next place after that to put your foot. And I think there's another group of people this applies to. It's not just those who need the big picture up front. I think it's those who are waiting till their life is more sorted out. Those who feel like they've got stuff in their life that maybe isn't where it should be. They need to learn more. They need more godliness. They need to deal with this habit. They need to deal with this issue. They need to sort out this thing. I think God would say to you, stop waiting until your life is perfect. Stop waiting until some future version of you, which is better than you are now, shows up before you take the next best step. Go as you are now. If you move, he will move. As you go, he will show. And I really believe the word of the Lord right now is this: take the next best step. What could that one step of obedience be for you today? I pray that the Lord would empower you, that he would speak to you, that he would reveal to you the next best step. God bless, guys. Bye.